Girl gave food to younger kids instead of eating. Hours later, 500 bikers arrived. The bell above the diner door rang softly as Emily Harper stepped inside, brushing rain from her worn jacket. It was nearly closing time at Rosewood Family Diner, a small, forgotten place on the edge of town where truckers, bikers, and tired souls stopped when nowhere else felt welcoming. Emily was 17. Thin. Quiet. And far too used to hunger. She worked here every evening after school, clearing tables, refilling coffee, smiling even when her stomach ached. Tonight was no different. Her shift meal sat untouched on the counter, a plate of scrambled eggs, toast, and 2 slices of bacon. For Emily, that plate meant everything. But she never touched it. Across the diner, in a corner booth, sat 3 younger kids, 2 boys and a girl, no older than 10. Their clothes were too thin for the cold. Their shoes were worn through at the soles. They whispered to each other, eyes fixed on plates that never came. Emily noticed them the moment they walked in. She noticed the way the youngest girl hugged herself. The way the older boy pretended not to be hungry. The way the smallest one stared at the menu like it was a dream. The waitress instincts in her told her to wait. To follow the rules. To ask if they were ordering. The human part of her didn't listen. Emily picked up her plate, hesitated for half a second, then walked over. She set the food down gently. "You can have this," she said softly. "I already ate." That was a lie. The kid stared at the plate like it might disappear. "You sure?" the oldest boy asked. Emily smiled. "Positive." They didn't speak again, just ate. Slowly at first. Then faster. Like they were afraid someone would take it away. Emily returned to the counter, sipping water to quiet the hunger pains twisting inside her. She didn't tell her boss. She didn't expect thanks. She just did what felt right. What she didn't know was that someone else was watching. The men at the back booth. In the darkest booth at the back of the diner sat a man with a thick gray beard, leather jacket, and arms marked with decades of ink. His boots were heavy. His eyes sharp. His name was Jack Iron Dalton. President of the Iron Reapers Motorcycle Club. He'd ridden into town earlier that day with a few brothers, stopping at the diner because it was quiet. Because no one bothered them. Because Rosewood didn't ask questions. Jack had seen a lot in his life. Violence. Loyalty. Blood. Loss. But what he saw tonight stopped him cold. He saw a hungry girl give away the only meal she'd have that day, without hesitation, without drama, without wanting credit. Jack watched as Emily returned to work, pretending she was fine. He took a slow sip of his coffee. Then he stood up. Emily stiffened when she saw him approach. Big bikers usually meant trouble. Loud voices. Rude jokes. Bad nights. Jack placed a folded bill on the counter. "For the kids," he said. Emily nodded. "Thank you, sir." He studied her face. "You didn't eat, did you?" Emily froze. "It's okay," Jack said quietly. "You don't gotta lie." She looked down. They needed it more. Jack didn't smile. But something changed in his eyes. The night that spread like fire. Jack left without another word. Emily finished her shift, cleaned the tables, and walked home in the cold, hunger gnawing at her insides. She shared a small trailer with her sick mother and younger brother. Food was always short. That night, Jack rode. He rode to places where engines never truly slept. To garages. To clubhouses. To backroad bars lit by neon and loyalty. And he told a story. About a girl. About 3 hungry kids. About a plate of food given away without a second thought. He didn't exaggerate. He didn't need to. By midnight, phones were buzzing. By dawn, engines were starting. By noon, riders were rolling in, from cities, towns, and highways miles away. Not for violence. For respect. The return. The next afternoon, Emily walked to the diner for her shift. She noticed the sound first. A deep, rolling thunder that shook the windows. She stepped outside. And froze. The parking lot was full. Overflowing. Lined down the street. Motorcycles. Hundreds of them. Leather vests. Club patches. Engines rumbling low and powerful. People gathered on sidewalks, whispering, filming, afraid. Emily's heart pounded. What did I do? Then Jack stepped forward. He removed his helmet and raised his hand. The engines cut off. Silence fell like a held breath. Jack walked toward Emily slowly, deliberately, with hundreds of bikers watching. You gave away your meal, he said loud enough for everyone to hear. Emily swallowed. Yes, sir. You didn't know who was watching. She shook her head. You didn't do it for praise. No. Jack nodded once. Then hear this. He turned to the crowd. This girl showed more heart than most people do in a lifetime. The bikers removed their helmets. One by one. A sign of respect. Emily's eyes filled with tears. What the bikers did next. The diner owner came rushing out, pale. Is there a problem? Jack shook his head. No problem, he said. Only solutions. Within minutes, tables were moved. Food deliveries arrived. Cash registers rang. The bikers ordered everything. Every meal. Every dessert. Every drink. They paid triple. Left tips that made the owner cry. Then Jack handed Emily an envelope. Inside was more money than she had ever seen. For your family, he said. No strings. Emily tried to refuse. Jack gently closed her hand around it. Kindness like yours keeps the world from rotting, he said. Let us carry some of the weight. But they weren't done. A promise made. Jack knelt in front of the 3 kids from the night before, who had returned with wide eyes. You ever go hungry again, he said, you come find us. He stood and addressed the crowd. From today on, Jack said, voice steady, this diner feeds kids in need. We'll cover it. Cheers erupted, not loud, not wild, but deep and proud. One biker stepped forward. Then another. They placed food boxes. School supplies. Winter jackets. Someone had organized it overnight. Emily stood there shaking, tears streaming freely now. All because she gave away a plate of food. The quiet after the storm. By evening, the bikers were gone. The diner was fuller than it had been in years. Emily sat at the counter, finally eating a warm meal. Her boss patted her shoulder. You changed something today. Emily shook her head. I just shared food. Jack's words echoed in her mind. Small kindnesses don't stay small. Outside, the road stretched long and open. And somewhere on it, 500 bikers rode on, carrying a story they would tell for the rest of their lives. About a girl. A plate of food. And a reminder of what really makes someone strong.